We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India.
Hello students, in today's lecture we will learn how to program with SQL Server. Working with SQL Server database in unbounded mode using VB.NET, how you can perform insert, update, delete operations, and at last we'll see hands-on session for working with SQL Express. Before starting the programming, you should be aware with the SQL Server. As you know, for different types of databases, VB.NET supports different namespaces, right? For Oracle, it supports Oracle Client. For SQL, it supports SQL Client. So over here, first of all, we need to make the connectivity with our application with corresponding database system. Okay. So now, let us assume that we are trying to fetch the data in the displayed layout. So first of all, we need to create such kind of simple layout through which we can access the data available, or you can say the data stored in SQL Server, right? Say suppose you would like to make connection with the SQL Server. You can select add connection if your database is already available, or if you do not have existing database, then you can select this option, create new SQL Server database. I have already created a student table, so I will not create it once again, right? Or for the sake of simplicity, let's say I will create a new database from here. Over here, you need to write down ./SQL Express. Over here, dot represents the instance of localhost. Instead of dot, you can write localhost 2. If your SQL Express server, or you can say your SQL server is installed on remote machine, then you can specify the name as well as IP address also over here in place of localhost. Then after at the time of installation of SQL Server, if you have provided any credentials, then you can specify it over here. But I have not provided any credentials at the time of Windows SQL Server installation, so I will use Windows authentication. Okay, then you need to specify the database name. Let's say student1. Though student database is already available in my SQL Server, so I will use student1, or let's say student_1. As you can see, one node has been added to my data connections, and that represents my database called student_1.db. Now, to create a table, Visual Studio provides you the simple features to create new table also. You can create new table by right clicking on table node and add new table. As you can see over here, a table designer has been open for us. From here we can create a new database table. Okay. As you can see, I have created a table from here in which I will provide enrollment number as my primary key. You can provide the name of the table over here. See, I have provided the name of my table as student. After doing all these things, you need to click on update. So it will store the table structure in your student_1 database. Okay. That's it. Now refresh this node, and you can see the student table has been created for us, right? So now we'll close it and start programming. First of all, we need to import SQL client. Imports system dot data dot SQL client. This is the namespace which we are going to use, right? Then we need to specify the collection over here, branch name civil computer mechanical. Okay, that's it. So we don't need to load it by coding. Okay, I have hard coded it. Now we will declare few objects, dim cn as SQL connection, dim cmd as SQL command, dim da as SQL data adapter, dim dt as data table. Okay, now we need the connection, database connection as soon as my form gets loaded. So I will create a new instance, or you can say I will initialize the instance of this connection object in the form load event. So cn is equals to new SQL connection. I need to specify the connection string. Now from where you can get the connection string? You can get the connection string from this detail. In data connection node, you need to click on SQL server, SQL Express student_1 DBO node. You need to right click over there, go to properties. You can see the connection string is there. Just copy this connection string and paste it over here. That's it. This is the connection string. Then open that connection for the transaction. cn.open. Now we'll call a user defined method that will load my data to the data grid view control. And now I'm defining that user defined method. Private sub load data. Over here I need to get the data grid view 1 dot data source is equals to get. Again, get data is also a user defined function which retrieves the table data from the student table. Get data, select star from student. That's it. Now I'm going to define get data function. Private function get data query as string, and it returns a data table. So as data table, dim dt, sorry, dim dt is already declared. So dt is equals to new data table. What we require? We require data adapter to be initialized. So DA is equals to new SQL data adapter, in which I will pass query and connection string. Okay, now we need to call data adapters fill method to load the data into the data table. Then at the end we will return the same data table from this method. Okay, so while calling this get data method, it will fires this query, returns the data table into dt, and the dt will be returned back to the data grid views data source. Let's check it out whether it is working or not. As you can see, the form has been loaded with the field name, address, enrollment number, and branch. But yet we have not inserted any record into it. We can't find any record in it. Okay, so let's insert the new record. Okay, so first of all, we need to generate a toggle button. If btn new dot text is equals to 10, btn new.txt is equals to submit, else btn new as soon as I click on new button, first of all the text boxes needs to be cleared. So txt name dot text is equals to blank, txt address dot text is equals to blank, txt enrollment number dot text is equals to blank, cmb branch dot text is equals to blank. Right? In else part, I will call a method called put data. It is again a user defined method to perform insert, update and delete. Insert into student values, now we'll put the data from the text box to this attributes. So double inverted double ampersand txt name dot text, again double inverted double ampersand txt address dot text, double inverted double ampersand txt er number dot text, and last cmb double inverted double ampersand cmb branch dot txt. Now we will define put data method. Private sub put data query as string, cmd is equals to new sql command. We have already declared the cmd in the beginning. I will simply pass query init and active connection, then cmd dot execute none query. That's it. Now let us check it out whether it is working or not. Yes, the form has been loaded. Now you can see over here new, right now no record is available. That is why it is already blank. Right, as soon as I click on new button, it will be changed to submit. Now I can insert new records in it. Suppose Suresh. You can see my tab index is not properly managed. I will manage it later on. Surat 0307001. Computer, submit. Now as soon as I press the submit button, the record will get inserted into it and the caption will be changed to new. As you can see, the caption has been changed, but I cannot see the record in the data grid view control because we have not loaded the updated data into the grid view control. So for that, once again, after completion of this transaction, I need to call the load data method from my main method. Okay, so let's do that. Here at the end, what I have to do, load data. Okay, now once again let's check it out. As you can see, our last record has been already stored in the database. Now click on new, Mahesh Baruch 1768603060001 civil and press submit. As soon as I press the submit button, the record will be listed out in this grid view control. Okay, so let's do that. Yes, the record has been listed out. Now what I want to do, when I click on a particular record in the data grid view control, that record needs to be loaded into this control. So let's do that. For that, we need to write the query in the data grid view cell content click event control. So for that, txt name.text is equals to data grid view 1 dot rows into bracket e dot row index dot cells of 0 dot value. It indicates that we will try to get the data from the row index whose cell index is 0, right? Whatever row I will select, that row index value will be replaced with that particular selected row, and from that row 0th column will be loaded to my txt name control. Similarly, we need to write down the same thing for all rest of the controls. Txt address.text is equals to 1. Txt enrollment number.text is equals to 2, and cmb text is equals to 3. Now let's check it out whether it is working or not. As you can see, right now no data is available. As soon as I click on the data grid view control, the data will get loaded in this. Okay, fine. So now if I would like to insert a new record, what I have to do, I have to click over here on new button. Let's say new, then Janak Navsari 17660309001 electrical. Yes, the record has been inserted into my data grid view control. Similarly, we can perform update and delete too. Let's do that. For update button, once again, I need to call this thing, but instead of insert, I am performing the update. I have to write down the query for update. Update student set name is equals to comma address is equals to comma branch is equals to where er underscore number is equals to. See, over here we are considering our enrollment number as a primary key, so we are not supposed to change the enrollment number, right? After that, the same procedure we need to follow. Txt name.text txt address.text cmb branch.text and enrollment number is txt er number.text. Now let's check it out whether it updates the record or not. There's error. Yes, here is the error. Now let us change the address of Janak from Navsari to Ahmedabad. As you can see, the address of Janak has been changed from Ahmedabad, right? Similarly, you can perform the delete operation too. So let's do that. Instead of update query, we need to remove the data using primary key attribute delete from student, where enrollment number is this. That's it. Okay, let's try to remove this record, Janak or it's Mahesh. Okay, let's remove this Mahesh. As you can see, Mahesh has been removed, but the text boxes are not cleared. So for that, you can write down the clear logic for the clearing of these controls, right? Now we will perform this search operation. But before that, let us set the tab index of this control. For that, you need to go to edit button, view option, view menu, and tab order. Click accordingly 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, that's it. Now our tab index has been changed. Now we would like to perform the search operation. For that also, I will write the same thing, but over here, as soon as I write something in the text box control, the data should be filtered out, right? So for that, I need to use wildcard characters, and I'm going to search the record with the help of enrollment number, because that is the only primary key attribute, right? So I have to write down select star from student where enrollment number like percentage and percentage. So it will look for the data available in enrollment number. Instead of enrollment number, over here I have to write down the txt search dot text. So depends upon the value entered in this text box, it will find the enrollment number over here. Here, if you want to perform this operation on the click event of search button, then also you can write down the same code, right? But I have written the code in the text change event of this text box. Okay, so let's check it out whether it is working or not. Let's say I would like to find out the enrollment number for 0 and 9. As you can see, nothing can be found. So there must be something missing. Let's figure it out. Where enrollment number like actually by mistake I have written the wrong query over here. Instead of that, data grid view 1 dot data source is equals to get data, because it's a select kind of query, so we cannot call the put data method, right? And we don't need to call load data. So if I would like to find out this particular record, I have to specify 09, because that is the only difference between these two enrollment number. Yes, if I would like to find out something for 07, yes. If I write only 7, it will show me all the records, right? So this is all for the database connectivity using SQL Server in VB.NET. Thank you and thanks for watching this.